why starting a business and why entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. As you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur. I run several successful online businesses at this point. Believe it or not, it's not just my pickup and dating business anymore. I know I get a lot of haters trying to bag on me. It's like trying to sell his program, its product. And it's like, no, dude, you think this is the only business I'm running right now? I've got several online properties that I run. It's not just my pickup and dating business anymore. I've purchased several over the last few years that are producing cash flow and that I've put a team behind because I have a team of employees who basically help run and manage the entire back-end operation of all of my enterprises and all of my ventures. There's a lot of work that's involved in that. There's a lot of logistical nightmares that happen from time to time. At one point, all of our websites went down the same night, and then we had to get those back up. There's a lot of hiring and firing in the process, being able to spot certain business ideas and certain business opportunities that you feel or you kind of have a gut feeling that are going to work versus ones that don't work. There's a lot of experience involved, and I mean, I've had businesses since the 90s. Those back then were more physical, whereas today, just because I've learned from experience, I only start and launch virtual businesses that can be run online. And I mean, even with my pickup and dating business, I'm still actively doing a lot of the coaching myself because I'm the main guy, and there's not a whole lot of people out there who can, basically that I can hire to replace me at a decent rate that would know how to teach other guys. There's a very, very finite type of skill that not a whole lot of people have, at least when it comes to pickup and dating. I have a lot of friends who are super talented at pickup and game, even some of them that are better than me, but they cannot articulate it in a way that would be coachable for students, right? But getting back to my point, entrepreneurship and starting a business, it's just not for everybody. There's a lot of risk involved, a lot of financial risk. There is a lot of sleepless nights involved. There is a lot of kind of blind faith involved. There's definitely a lot of financial uncertainty that a lot of people are just not wired to deal with. It just really depends on your personality. Okay, it really depends on your personality and what type of life you are willing to sacrifice and live in the meantime while you build your business. I run an entrepreneurs group in Santa Monica, California, right, in Los Angeles. We have about a little over 1,500 members. So I run this group, 1,500 member entrepreneurs group. We have newbie entrepreneurs, intermediate entrepreneurs, advanced entrepreneurs. We have people doing $0 per month, and then we have a few guys doing 10 million a month, right? Where it's nothing. Like, they're just doing it like it's nothing. And the thing is, I'm able to kind of see who makes it and who doesn't. I usually tell the people that I can kind of see it's not part of their personality, because a lot of people have this idea that they want to quit their job and then just run with their business full time. And for some people, I'm like, I could see it in their eyes. I'm like, do that. You do that, right? But for other people, I'm like, don't do that. That would be a horrific decision if you quit your job. You should stay at your job, then keep trying to build your business and see if you could get traction before you just flat out quit and then you don't have income coming in, especially if they have family or kids. I'm like, that's a bad idea. Don't do it, right? Unless I could really see that fire in their eyes, that they know what they're doing, they have at least enough experience to pull something off where they could start bringing in some income, then I'll be like, yeah, man, you gotta, like, you're wasting time at work. You could be spending this time on your business. But at the end of the day, it's not for everybody. And as much as I bag on, hey, don't go to college, college is a scam and the degrees are worthless, for some people, that's probably the best path for them. I've got some students in my programs that are software engineers, or some guys that want to become doctors. They've always wanted to become a doctor, or they always wanted to practice law and they want to become an attorney. And I'm like, do that. You know, I mean, even with being an attorney or a doctor, you can still open your own practice. So it's not like you can't start your own business. You can, right? You're just going to become more of a self-employed person, right? Where you're a business owner and you're self-employed because you're the guy behind everything. You know, it's kind of like with me and my pickup business. It's like I'm the guy behind everything. I'm technically self-employed. Whereas with my other businesses, where I just basically bought these already profitable websites that were producing cash flow and income, those are more passive. So I'm not really an employee of that. I have teams that already work on those sites and I never touch them. They basically do all the work and I just pay them a salary. I'm pretty passive in that. I mean, the only place I'm really active is my pickup business because I do coaching and stuff like that. Or even my entrepreneurs group where I'll do like business coaching from time to time. People are trying to launch their product, whether it be physical or virtual, and then I will help kind of guide them when they hire me as a consultant. But being an entrepreneur, and starting your own business, it's almost like you have to be a different type of animal. And you have to be, what I've seen from the people who've become successful and who've gotten rich from starting their own businesses, generally are very risky people. They like to take risks. They like to gamble. And I used to be a huge gambler back in the day. Speaking of which, I'm staying at a hotel and a casino right now. And I don't gamble the way I used to, like back in the day in my 20s. I would gamble like 10 grand like it was nothing. And that wasn't even my 10 grand. I was like pulling cash advances out of my credit card because I was insane back then. The thing about starting business is you're gonna have to deal with a lot of sleepless nights. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of different personalities that you're managing, at least in the beginning, right? In the beginning, you can't just like hire a team and put your team in place without understanding how the business is operated. I believe that when you first start your business, you have to be the guy. You have to be like a one-man show, the guy running the website, the guy answering customer service questions, the guy responding to comments on your social media. You have to be that guy to really understand what your customers want and how your business is run, so that you can teach it to somebody else, you know, your employee or your virtual assistants who can take over for you and run the business for you, or at least the back end of it. At the end of the day, it's not for everybody, because a lot of people have this dream. And again, I run a 1,500 member entrepreneurs group in Los Angeles, and I would say most of those people never make it. They just never make it because they have big dreams, but they're just not wired to make it happen. They're just better off staying at their job. And I have no problem telling them that, right? I'm like, you might want to just think about trying to move up in the, in the career ladder, in your corporate career, because that might be a better avenue for you. It'll be safer. They have different habits too, whereas like they like to sleep at night from, I got to go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up at 6. They have a very set schedule too, whereas when you start your own business, you're really not going to have that type of schedule. You're just going to have to work when you need to work, and then work when you don't want to work. You're going to have the self-efficacy to motivate yourself to work even in times when you don't want to work. You're going to have to be managing people, personalities. You're going to have to be okay with firing people who aren't producing for you. You're going to have to be able to spot winners when you hire them. When I hire people, I look for A players, right? I look for people who are A players. I don't hire B players or C players, because if you hire a bunch of A players and then you get one B player or one C player, if you add one of those guys to your team, that person, he or she, can quickly screw up. So I only hire A players. Okay, I don't waste my time with B's or C's. I don't care what's on their resume. I only hire A players, people who are producing results, people who have proven themselves, and people who I can depend on to run my businesses. People that I'm not gonna lose sleep over. One thing I hate is like if I have to stop my day to manage somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I hate that. I just, I want the business to be hands off, and I want to just be able to put the right people in place to run it, and I don't have to worry about it because there's other things I'd rather be working on rather than worrying about the people that I hired, worrying that they're not doing their job, worrying that, they're not making things happen. I'd rather be working on other high value aspects of the business. I'd rather be shooting these coaching videos, doing marketing for my business, doing stuff like that than, worrying about employees. There's a lot of a balancing act too, because not only do you have to balance your business, but you have to balance your life with this, because when you have your own business, there's none of this like clock in at 9 and then clock out at 5 shit. I mean, when you have a business, you're clocked in 24/7. It could be Christmas. If there's a problem, you gotta work, right? And I've had times where I worked on Christmas, man. And I was there at my family's house trying to enjoy Christmas, and I got a call, I got a message from my VA like, oh, having a problem, Matt. Gotta get you online. I'm like, oh, great. You know, and you have to work. So things like that, it's not for everyone. Some people are just better off working a normal schedule or just working a safe job, especially if you have kids. If you have younger kids, you're just better off, you know, taking the safe route. So you don't lose your income, you don't lose the shirt off your back, you don't, you know, lose all your money, because as I've mentioned to you guys, when I left corporate America, I had built up a pretty large savings. And that savings got wiped out like that. I mean, it got wiped out pretty quickly because I was starting all of these businesses that weren't working, and I was trying to make something work, and I was down to my last 500 bucks. You know, I was basically living off my credit cards at that point, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And I got offered a job with Adobe software, a little outside of Silicon Valley, and I didn't take the job. I didn't take it because I felt like I could make my business work. And a lot of people in that position would not do that. They would take that job at Adobe. If I took that job at Adobe, I probably would not be here shooting this coaching video right now. It's those type of risks that I can't say are right or wrong. It really depends on your personality. It really depends on how much faith or belief you have in yourself. Okay, so I don't want to paint this picture, because I'm going to be doing more coaching videos in the future. I don't want to paint a picture where it's like, oh, quit your job, baby, get rich. Because it's not like that. There's a lot of sleepless nights and hard work when it comes to building a 7-figure business, when it comes to becoming a self-made millionaire. It doesn't happen like it, you know, in the movies. When you finally like get to that point, I remember there's this entrepreneur friend that I had that used to like march against the 99%, and he was like hated rich people, hated capitalism, and he just wanted to start his own business. It was kind of like a green, kind of like earthy type business to really help and add value to the world, but he wanted to be able to support himself, kind of a hippie-ish guy. So he does that. He creates his business that becomes successful, becomes a self-made millionaire. All of a sudden, he looks back on himself of how he was back then, like marching against capitalism. He's like, I was so stupid. What was I thinking? You know, I was so dumb. And he hates the way he was. He's still kind of hippie-ish, but he hates the fact that he was like, I was so brainwashed by my university. And he was like, oh my God. And now he's like a full-blown capitalist. And he's like, this is the only type of economic system I'll ever live in. And he was like, oh my God, those 99%ers, screw them, and da da da. And he's like, they don't understand the work that's involved and the hard work that we have to go through to get employees, to get financially stable, and all the stuff we do for the community. And it was just hilarious because he was one of those like former like protesters against capitalism. It's like, dude became a capitalist, and then he saw the other side, and he was like, man, this is a lot of work. I sacrificed like half my life to build this business and all my money. And he's like, oh my God, he's like, you know, if you start a business, you go through all that risk, you deserve all of the profit. You deserve as much profit as possible because you took all this risk and you didn't just take the safe route, which was a job. So this is why I'm saying it's just not for everybody. And if you really want to start a business that bad and you're just not sure, don't quit your job just yet. Just keep working your job and try to build something on the side. That's the best that you could do, is you try to build something on the side and see if you could get traction. You have to be okay with failure. You have to be, I mean, obviously you're going to have to put your own money up to build these things and to build these websites and hire people and fire people, and you're going to have to be on 24/7. And especially again, if you have kids, that's a lot harder. I don't have kids, so I'm able to pick up the phone 24/7 if there's a business problem. A lot of people don't have that luxury, and especially if you have a family, a wife, she's probably not going to like that, right? You're taking calls at 3 a.m. while she's trying to sleep and get ready for work. She's probably not going to like that. Right, so you have to decide what's right for you. And if you only want to work certain hours, like from this time to this time, but you want to sleep at night when your wife is sleeping so she doesn't get disturbed, understand that's going to have an effect on your business, right? That's always going to have an effect on it. And there's always going to be other people who aren't going to have those restrictions that you have, that are just going to just run right by you, right? There are a lot of vultures out there, right? Especially in this space, like the dating niche that I'm in, there are a lot of vultures. I'm one of them. I can run right past these guys if I want to at any time, and I often do, right? I can outmarket these guys. I can outwork these guys. Some of these guys are half my age. I could outwork them, out-energize them any day of the week because I have loads of it. I could keep going and going. I'm super competitive because that's part of my natural personality. I'm just a competitor. I just want to win, right? I just want to win. If it doesn't help me win, I don't care. Like some of you guys mentioned these response videos, like, oh, do a response to this person's response video. Because once you start getting big on YouTube, you'll have people disagree with you, try to take shots at you, do response videos, and I just don't bother because it doesn't help me win. I'm like, I just want to win, man. And, you know, if it's holding me back, that's not going to help me, right? I just want to win because I'm a competitor. A lot of people, it's just not part of their personality to like be like that, especially these days, especially with an online business or even an offline business. You have to be super competitive because you are going to have competitors. But when you're working a job and you're just working for the man, you don't have to worry about the competition. When I worked for the Fortune 100 company, that was supposed to be a high stress job. Everyone's like, oh, it's so high stress. Looking back, I was like, man, I had it easy. I had it easy, stress free. It's like when I was at work, I was at work. When I wasn't there, my mind wasn't there, right? It's like I had all this mental space to do other things and think about other things and reflect on life and whether or not there are UFOs out there and, you know, and where do pigeons go at night when they sleep. And I had all sorts of time in my head to think about just dumb shit, right? Whereas now I don't have that kind of mental space. I'm constantly thinking about my business. I'm constantly thinking about growing my other businesses that I've just bought. I'm constantly thinking about buying other businesses. You know, I mean, it just gets me excited. It's what keeps me alert in life and awake at night. Yeah, I hate going to sleep at night. I mean, yeah, I'm up at all sorts of weird hours. Sometimes that's why you'll see me message or post on social media at like 2 in the morning, just because I've been up all night, you know, and that's the type of life that I like. It's not for everybody. People that I've dated have a problem with that because they want to sleep normal hours at night because they have to get up for work, and I understand that. So a lot of times I'll just stay at my own place or I'll just do my own thing because I understand that. I want to respect the fact that they need to sleep, and I don't. I want to be up. So it really just depends on your personality and what, you know, the pros and cons of how much time you have in the day to work on your business. But I'm telling you, no matter what type of business you start, whether you start a car wash or you start an online business, you're going to always have vultures out there who are going to try to outwork you, you know, like me. I love competition and I love competing, and you're going to have to love that too if you start your own online business, offline business, whatever. Okay, but when you have a job, you don't have to worry about any of that shit, right? You can just show up to your job, do your work, collect your paycheck, and then go home. Period. That's it. You know, and for a lot of people, that's good. That's good. That's good enough. You know, you could make good money. You could pay your rent, keep the roof over your head, you know, put a little money on the side, put away a little money on the side in your savings, not have to worry about going poor or homeless, and you'll live a comfortable life. You don't need to get rich. You don't need to take over the world. You could just live a comfortable life. That's fine for most people. I mean, I don't fault you for that. I had a corporate job. I was making 6 figures. My coworkers were making 6 figures. You know, some of those people were smart enough to start their own business and they didn't because they realized for them, they want time with their family or they want time to do other things in life and not work or business related, not financially motivated. And they're like, that's why I just stay at my job. I collect my paycheck and I'm happy. I've got a good life and yeah, I've got air in my lungs. I'm happy. So it really depends on the type of personality you have. I'm just the type of personality where I feel like I want to take over the world. You know, I want to change the world. This is why I gravitated towards a lot of these coaching videos on YouTube, because I feel like I could reach the biggest number of people out there with these ideas. And I could bring other like-minded guys to me. And we can kind of grow together and change the world together. You know, but again, it's a different type of animal. It takes a different type of personality. And if you don't have that type of personality, you're probably better off just staying at your job and not trying to like gamble your life savings on a business that you're not sure about, as I did. And obviously I failed in the beginning. I failed several times until I finally started getting traction with my pickup and dating business where it started to work. That was where I could add the most value to guys' lives because that's where I had the most experience. and I've done coaching videos on that, on how to start your own business, and I will do more in the future. But the purpose of tonight's coaching video, or today's, as it's late afternoon here, from my hotel room, by the way, I'm at the top floor of my casino hotel room, just kind of traveling right now. That's another thing when you have a business, man, expect to travel a lot. I used to travel for my corporate job. They used to send me places all the time. I felt like I lived out of like hotel rooms and airplanes. I mean, it hasn't really changed much. I mean, with my business, I'm still traveling a whole lot. That's just another aspect of, you know, running your own business. You may have to travel a lot depending on what you do. That's all I want to get into in this coaching video. Again, I will talk more about, if you really want to learn how to start your own business and get rich and all that, I will do future coaching videos on that. But for tonight's coaching video, it's more about whether or not entrepreneurship and starting your own business is actually for you, okay? Because as I always taught when I do business coaching, is to never chase the money. So if you're only getting into this for the money, then you're just not gonna make it. I will tell you that right now. It cannot be about the money. It has to be about the amount of value that you can add to another person's life. And for me, the reason why my pickup and dating business became successful is because that is where I was able to add the most value to another person's life, right? So for you, it's gonna be the same thing. I mean, you can't just focus on like, I gotta replace all my income and make, you know, make it rain and make $100,000 a month. You know, it has to be where you could add the most value. And if you can do that and then financially be compensated for it, you know, that's the best of both worlds, right? But we will save that for a future coaching video. Whereas tonight, it was more about whether or not it's a step you should take in your own life, and whether or not you should keep your corporate job or whatever job you have. You should keep your safe, comfy job, your paycheck, and try to build a business on the side, or completely just quit and then try to move on, which again, I don't recommend if you have a family, if you have kids, especially very young kids. It's not a good decision to take that kind of gamble. But for me, I'm single, don't have any kids. I mean, I could float around as much as I want. So if I hurt anybody, if I ever fail, like I really hurt anybody, I'm only hurting myself. I'm not really hurting anyone else, because I don't like hit up family members or anybody for money. I usually just get a credit card and I'll live off my credit cards if I ever like get that broke, as I have in the past. But right now I'm doing financially well and can't complain. Self-made millionaire, what can I say? Right? So until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets, and don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. And more importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you guys subscribe, and also when you share my coaching videos with other like-minded red pill friends of yours, okay? It helps out our community, it helps grow the channel, obviously, and it helps grow our movement as men. If you have other like-minded friends who think like you, who share the same ideas and values as you, bring them onto my channel, have them subscribe, and send them some of my coaching videos, and just bring them over, okay? Just bring them over. For you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill content that I am creating for you even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason why I'm doing that is to protect my content in the event that YouTube just all of a sudden like shuts us down because they don't like you guys becoming empowered. They don't like you guys becoming woke to the truth, right? No matter what happens, I will still have my premium alpha channel being hosted on this other private platform that I'm paying for, okay? I'm paying for this platform where I'm putting my premium content on it, so it will never be lost and nobody can ever take it down. Even if YouTube ever does take us down, you will be a member of my premium alpha channel and you will be safe, okay? Also, it's way more private than YouTube. With YouTube, I mean, there's just a lot of privacy issues, not that much different from Facebook. But on my private platform, everything is encrypted, everything is secure, so you can guarantee that you're safe on my private platform. Again, because I'm paying for this platform, It's only $1 for the entire first month of premium alpha male coaching lessons from me. And all you need to do to get signed up is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.